Okay, I'm going to share my screen, and everybody should have their workbook with a pencil, and you should be on page 93. Okay, 93. Now, before we start, go ahead and leave your workbooks open, page 93, but I'm going to go and review over some vocabulary real quick. Okay, real quick, I'll do that, and then we'll begin with the chapter. Okay. So let me go back so that we can review some vocabulary that we've learned in this chapter. Okay, so we've done a couple of examples of comparing objects or sets that have the same, right? Same. And then we also have been comparing objects or groups that are, you know, bigger than, greater than, okay? So compare. This is one of the vocabularies I want you to remember, compare. Okay, that is when we have two groups or two sets. Let's say, for example, we have this set right here of, and then we have this one right here of yellow. This one's a group of red, a set of red, and then this is a set of yellow, okay? And when we compare, we're looking at both of these, okay, both of these, to see which one is greater than, less than, or the same. So greater than is bigger, okay? Less than is smaller. Same is gonna be equal, okay? Equal, the same, okay? So we're trying to see which one is greater than, less than, or equal. And remember, when we match, we put one line to the other set of objects. So that's how we match to see whether they're greater than or less than or the same. Okay, so remember, it's important that you know this vocabulary. Okay, we'll go ahead and erase all that, and we'll go to page 93 again. And we'll begin with the chapter. Page 93, I believe. Yep, page 93. This is where we should be, right here. Okay. And we will go ahead and begin with the very important question of this chapter. It says, essential question: how can you compare sets when the number of objects in one set is less than the number of objects in the other set? So what do we learn? What have we learned in this chapter? How can we look at two different objects and see whether they're less than or more? What is one thing that we always do after counting each set? What is one thing we always do? I'm going to choose Beth. Go ahead and turn on just your microphone, honey. What is one thing that we can do to see if one set is less than the number of objects in the other set? Is Beth still here? Beth, can you turn on your microphone, honey? Yeah, there you go, thank you. So what is one thing, after we count each set, what is one thing that we can do to compare sets?
We can count them.
Well, we already count, let's pretend we already counted. How many is in here? How many do we have in this set?
One.
One. How many do we have in this set?
Three.
We have three, right? Okay, now we counted. So what is one thing we can do to compare these two sets to see if one's less than or more than or equal?
We can less than?
Yeah, what is one thing we can do that we have learned that we can do to compare them? Do you remember?
We can count them again.
Well, we can, how about match them, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we match them, we can see which one is less than or greater than, or if they're equal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right here, we're matching this one to that one. So after we count them, we know there's 1 here, and we know there's 3 here. The second step, Beth, the second step, after we count each one of the sets, we have to match them. That's a way what we can do to compare the 2 sets to see which one's greater than the other or which one's less than the other, okay? Or if they're equal, okay? So very important. So what's the first step, Beth? We do what?
Count them?
Yes. So the first step, number 1, we're going to count them. And Beth, when we count them, do we not touch them or do we just count them by looking at them?
Do we touch them? We touch them.
That is correct. We touch them. 1, and then we go 1, 2, 3. Very important we touch our objects, okay? So number 2, what's the second step, Beth? We just talked about it.
We can.
What did I just do right here?
We can count them and cross them.
No, what is this? What am I doing right here? Doing a line to another line. What are we doing? I'm gonna write the word out. Match. Match the objects, okay? You're gonna match each one, and then that way you can compare them and see how many more are on this one and how many there is on this one. We match them, okay? And then you can compare which one's bigger and which one's smaller, right? So that's the first step. We always count them. Second step is we're gonna match each object, okay? To see, which one's greater. On this one here, less than means small, right, Beth? Less than means small. So which one is less than? The yellow counters or the red counters?
Yellow.
Yes, the yellow counters are less than the red ones, right? The red counters?
Are better than.
Are what?
Better.
I guess I couldn't hear you, honey.
Better.
Well, we're looking at the word less than, and less than means smaller. This group right here, this set is less than the red counters, okay? Remember, we're listening to and using the vocabulary of math vocabulary, okay? It's very important. Okay, so step 1, we count them and we touch them as we count them. Step 2, we match them. And step 3, we're gonna compare, okay? Step 3, we're gonna compare to see which one is less than, okay? And less than means that it's smaller than the other set, okay? Less than. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and erase that. Everybody should count them and write your number beside it, and then match it, and then circle the one that is less than, which is the yellow counter. Okay, I want you to be doing this with me, okay? All right, we're gonna go ahead and begin with the next page. So go ahead and finish your stuff on here and we'll move on. Page 94, here we go. Now, I'm gonna choose somebody else. Desmond, it's your turn. Thank you, Beth, you can mute yourself. Desmond, you're gonna help me with number 1, okay? This is right here, number 1, okay? Right here is number 1. So it says, we're gonna look at these counters. We're gonna place these counters as shown. So we're gonna see these counters right here and we're gonna count them, Desmond, and then we're going to match them and then we're gonna compare and we're gonna circle the set that is less than. Are you ready, Desmond?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, what is the first step that we're gonna do, Desmond?
The bottom.
So what's the first step that we always do before we do anything else? What are we gonna do?
We're gonna trace the numbers.
No, we're going to count them, right?
Yes.
Count. So we're going to count. Let me put the word count. C-O-U-N-T. Count. That's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to count each set. Count with me, Desmond. Here we go. 1,
2,
3.
3,
How many are in this set?
3.
3. Now we can trace it, right? Now we can write the number so we know how many there is in this set. What about this one? Let's count this one. Here we go. 1, 2. How many are in this set?
2.
2. Now we can go ahead and trace it. Now, what's the next step? Step number 2. What are we going to do? We counted them. We wrote the numbers. What are we going to do next?
The bottom.
Nope. We're only doing the top one right up here, not the bottom one, number 1. So what are we going to do next? Do you remember what I told Beth? After we count them and write the numbers, what is my pointer doing? We're going to do what?
We count them.
What did my pointer do right now? We are going to match them. Can you say that? Match them. Yeah, we're going to match them. So let me erase my drawing. Here we go. We know there's 3 here and we know there's 2 here. Now we're going to match each one. Ready? 1, 2. We got to match. So the first step is to count them and write the number. The second step is to match them. So we're going to match them by drawing a line to each of the objects, okay? Now that we matched them, Desmond, now we can compare them. So now looking at these groups, this set here of red counters and this set of yellow counters, which is less than? Remember, less than is small. So which one's smaller here? Which one's less than?
The up one.
Which one's smaller?
The up one.
Can you tell me the color?
Yellow.
The what?
Yellow.
Yellow, yes. The yellow counters are less than the red ones, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so we're going to circle this one because this one is less than. These yellow counters are less than the red counters. And how do we know? Because we matched each one and there was one extra more on the red. So this one has less. So it's less than the red counters. Thank you, Desmond. You can mute yourself. All right, Christian, your turn. Number 2. You're going to help me with number 2, sweetheart. Right here, number 2. All right, you ready, Christian?
Uh-huh.
We're going to look at these counters, this red set right here and this yellow set. What is the first thing that we do?
Count.
Beautiful, Christian. You're paying attention. Wonderful. Here we go. Count with me with the red counters. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many?
4.
Perfect. Now we're going to write the number. Okay, now the yellow ones. Count with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many?
5.
5. Man, you're super smart. Good job. Now, what's the second step we're going to do? Now that we counted and wrote the numbers, what's the second step?
Lines.
Match them, right? Yes, we're going to draw a line to match them. Can you help me with that? Here we go. Let's count how many we're going to match. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, is there any more to match?
No.
No. Now we're going to do compare. Now we're going to look at each set. We're going to look at the red set and the yellow set. Which one is less than? Remember, less than is smaller.
The red one.
The red one. So, right, the red is less than the yellow, right? The yellow set. So we're going to circle the group, the set that is less than, okay? Thank you so much, Christian.
You're welcome.
You can mute yourself, sweetheart. All right, now we're gonna go to the next page. Everybody should be doing this with me. Here we go. Let's pick one more student to help me. Maggie, go ahead and unmute yourself, Maggie. What's the first step we're gonna do, Maggie?
The top.
Yep, what are we gonna do though? You remember?
No.
We're going to do what? We're going to
Count them.
count. Yes, thank you. Let's count with me. Ready, Maggie? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many do we have in this set?
4.
We're gonna write the number 4 because we know that there is 4 in this set. Now let's count the other set. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. How many in this group right here?
3.
3. Yes, thank you so much. You're super smart. Now, what is the next step that we're gonna do? Now that we counted them, and then we wrote the number, what's the next step?
Pick them.
We're going to match. You say with me? Match. Match. Now we're gonna match each red one with the yellow. So we match that one. We're gonna match this one. And we're gonna match this one with this one. Oh, is there any more to match?
No.
No. Now we're gonna look at this set right here, the red counters, and this set here and this yellow counters. Which one is less than? Remember, less than is smaller.
3.
3, right? The yellow counters are less than the red. So we're gonna circle this one because this one, this group right here, this set, the yellow counters are less than the red counters, okay? All right, thank you so much, Maggie.
Yeah.
All right, now we're gonna go to the next one. I'll go ahead and finish this one with you together. Okay, now we're gonna first right here, the very bottom, we're gonna count to the counters. Count with me. 1. Okay, then you write the number. Now this one right here, this set. 1, 2. Okay, now I did the first step. I counted each set and then I wrote the number. Now the second step is to match them. So now we're gonna match one red one with the yellow counter. Match. Oh, there's no more to match. So now I'm gonna look at these and compare them, which one is less than. And remember, less than is smaller. And the smaller one is this one. The less than is the red counter. So the red counters, this red one right here, is less than the yellow counters because it's smaller. Okay, go ahead and finish that one. And make sure you're circling only the less than. We want to see which one is the smaller one group, okay, out of the sets. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go over the review real quick. Mid-chapter review here. Okay, on here, this is what we're going to do. It says place a counter. We're going to draw little counters to show the same number of objects. The same, okay? So let's count them first, because that's what we should always do first, is count. Here, count with me. Let me get my pen ready. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. How many is there? How many puppets? There's 3 puppets, okay? Now I want you to draw the same to show the same number. So that means that there should be the same number right here. There should be 3 wet. Draw little counters to show the same, okay? So go ahead and finish that to draw the same. Okay, so number 2 right here, it says, count and tell how many are in each set. Write the numbers and then compare the sets by matching and then circle the number that is greater. Remember? Greater. So first you're going to count them. So count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Write the number right here. We just counted them together and there was 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Once you're done writing the number right here, let's count the red counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and write your number right here. We counted it and it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now that we have counted them, we do the second step. We match them, right? So go ahead and match each one with a yellow with a red counter. Match each one with the line. Okay. Once you do that, once you match them, I want you to put a big circle around the number that is greater. Remember, greater is bigger. Greater is bigger. Okay, so go ahead and finish that. Okay, so now we're going to look at this little fishy right here and see there's a line right here. So we're going to look at this one and we're going to count how many there is. So let's count the fishes. 1, 2, 3. There are 3 fishes, okay? Now you're going to count each of these bowls. Count each of these bowls and then write the number below. Count each of the fish and write the number below. Count each fish and then write the number below. Count each fish and write the number below, okay? Once you count each fish in each bowl, I want you to circle the bowls that have a fish less than this one right here, the number 3, okay? Only circle the ones right over here on the right that are less than the number 3 right here, okay? You're gonna count them, write the number, and then you're only gonna circle the fish bowls on this side, on the right side, which one is less than. Remember, less than is smaller than the number 3. So it has to be smaller than the 3, less than, okay? Go ahead and finish that. Now the next step here, I'm gonna go ahead and erase my drawings. Next is just, I'm gonna show you what is for homework. Okay, page 97 and 98 are homework. Okay, 98. Okay. And number 97, you're doing the same thing we've been doing today in class. You're gonna count each group. This is one group, and this is the other group, the other set. You're gonna count them. Remember, you touch them as you count, write the number. Count them, write the number. Then you're gonna match them. Match one with the other, okay? With the light gray to the dark gray, you're gonna match each one. Then you're gonna circle the group, the set that is smaller, less than, okay? I want you to circle, put around a circle around the group that is less than, okay? And you're gonna do the same thing down here, number 2. You're gonna count them, write the number. Count them, write the number. Then you're gonna match each counter with a light one to a dark one, okay? Then after you match them, you're gonna compare them and see which one's less than, which is smaller, less than, and then put a circle around the one that is less than, okay? And then here, you're gonna do the same thing. Count them, write the number. Count them, write the number. Then you're gonna match a line to the light one to the dark one, and then you're gonna circle and see which set that is less than, okay, less than, smaller, okay? And then here, this is just a review that we've already done this before. We're gonna trace the number 3, and then you're gonna draw the counters or circles inside the 5, I can't even speak, the 5 frame to show this number, okay? So number 3, so how many do we have to draw in here in this 5 frame to show this number, okay? Remember to count as you're drawing them so you know where to stop, okay? And then right here, you're just gonna count how many birds there are and then write the number. Count them and then write the number, okay? This is something you've already done, right? And that is for homework, page 97 and 98. All right, we're gonna go ahead and take a 5-minute break.